Welcome to Confab number 2. This is part 2 of indigenous issues. So I talked to a guy on TikTok tonight. I want to make this clear. I respect him and I thank him. I didn't know he was mixed. I'm normally pretty good at picking out mixed people because I'm mixed. It's kind of like one of those spider senses things I got. And I missed the ball on that one because he was calling on all of the indigenous people from the tips of Canada to the south tip of South America. And we had a fairly decent exchange of words on the computer. They weren't bad. They were all good. And he's actually with me on what I said. So I'm bringing it here to Instagram. To YouTube. And hopefully you guys will be with me on that. It kind of broke me into tears a little bit because of the simple fact that I'm not full-blooded Cherokee. Alright? Now, what I told him is what I'm going to tell you. We need unification amongst all natives, all indigenous, whether you're at the North Pole, whether you're in Alaska, whether you've come all the way down to Mexico, whether you've come all the way down past Chile. If you're indigenous, we need to talk. Period. It's not about being high yellow or white passing. It's not about being brown or black passing. It's about being indigenous. Because there's a lot of indigenous people who are fighting to prove who's more indigenous. And that shit sucks. Because I really don't fall into that category. Because I'm multicultural. I can indigenous pass. I know that much for the 3 years that somebody would not call me by my name and would keep calling me Chief. And that shit would piss me off. And there was nothing I could do because I was a 16-year-old kid. And I didn't think the guy did it as a racial thing. I think he just did it because some people just don't want to address people correctly. Or don't know how to address people correctly. But that's another story. The most important thing right here, right now, in what little bit of time of this video I'm going to make, is the indigenous infighting needs to stop. Whether you're Apache, Cheyenne, Ojibwa, Cherokee, Iroquois, Blackfoot, Kiowa, if you still exist, whether you're federally recognized or non-federally recognized, whether you're on a sovereign nation, sovereign land, or if you're living in the city, if you're indigenous, the fighting amongst ourselves has to stop first. Yeah, we have to worry about the deaths of the residential school children. That's top priority. These kids need justice. Dead or alive, they need justice, and they need it right now. Second thing that's most important is the missing and murdered indigenous people need to be brought home. Dead or alive, they need it right now. I am not a leader. I am not a hero. I am a vet. I didn't get to serve the way I wanted to serve. I am not pure-blooded native, and I have been told that only by 2 natives in my entire life. Another beautiful native that I follow made me realize that I'm still native, and she left a pretty good message, and she gave me a message on TikTok as well as Instagram, and I thank her, and you need to follow her. Her name is Indigenous or Not Invisible. You also need to follow Lance. If anybody's going to be a leader, it's going to be him and the guy that I spoke to tonight and the other guy with the glasses whose name I can't remember, but I follow you, brother, and I love you. And my other indigenous friends that have accepted me. We all need to find a true leader who can talk to each indigenous tribe and have a true tribal council outside of the many tribes, but one gigantic ass tribal council who aren't agents, who are going to fight for native issues. Hell or high water, you're going to fight for fucking native issues first. Not just, oh, well, I got the job with the United States government. I got that. We need you in there. But your main job needs to be native issues. For full bloods, for mixed bloods like me, your main job needs to be native issues. I should not have to go and get a blood quantum test to prove my nativeness. And I still have to wait for that because Ancestry's taking forever. And it's pissing me off. So I'm going to have to go to the CRI, geology place or whatever to get whatever bit of, even if it's 2% native blood. I want to know. I also want to know if it's Iroquois, if it's Cherokee, or if it's whatever else is in Virginia. Now I know everything I need to know about the Trail of Tears, which is a fucking travesty and an abomination, but to be honest, the Trail of Tears never stopped. It has not stopped. To everyone else who's not native, the Trail of Tears never stopped. You may think it has stopped, but it has not stopped. The Trail of Tears is still going on. Let me give you an example. Standing Rock, still Trail of Tears. Pipeline 3, Pipeline 5, still Trail of Tears, because they're still trying to take indigenous land from indigenous people. Missing and murdered indigenous people, Trail of Tears. It's never stopped. It's never going to stop until we stop it, and we can't stop it until we are a united nation of natives. Not just one tribe, but all tribes need to send a representative, federally recognized, non-federally recognized, people like me who are multicultural, biracial. We need to be in there. And indigenous people from the Philippines, indigenous people from Hawaii, indigenous people from Samoa, they're indigenous. They are in our fight too, even if it's not on their land. They're in our fight, and we all need to unite. And I'm not trying to overthrow the government. Just make sure that's clear, because I am a veteran. I did serve this government, not the way I want it, and there are plenty of natives that have served this country. So don't discount them. Never discount a vet that's a native. Never. They made the tide turn in World War II. And don't you ever forget the code talkers. Not the Navajo, not the Apache. Don't forget any of them. But right now, in this moment, natives from the tip top of the North Pole to the south of South America, all natives need to have one representative, and not some hothead motherfucker like me who talks a good talk. But that's probably because I'm a better actor than I think I am. But this is coming from the heart, because this breaks me into tears, because I'm mixed and I've been the victim of racism all my life. Proving to be black to black people is the same thing as proving to be indigenous to indigenous people. I've never had to prove to be indigenous to indigenous people. I've only had 2 incidences where someone pointed out the fact that I am not pure blood. However, other natives have never given me a problem, other than those 2 dudes. Black people have given me a lot of problems. Lots of them. White people have given me a little bit, but not a whole fucking lot. But this isn't about me. This is bigger than me. And this needs to be said and needs to be done. Natives need more representation. Not just on TV, not just in comic books, not just in the movies, but we need more representation. We need more natives in Congress, in the Senate, in the fucking White House. We need more natives. So you guys, start running. You have the rights now. We've had rights since 1924, which is also a load of bullshit. We should have had rights since 1942, because we did before the Europeans occupied the country, which now they are part of the country. But the structure was rewritten, and natives were also slaves for those who don't have a history book in front of them. Whites were also slaves for those who don't have a history book in front of them, and blacks were the worst treated slaves that ever were, for those who don't have a history book in front of them. But united we stand doesn't always work if you're not going to be united. Indigenous people, hear this mutt, if you will. I am not 100% native. That doesn't make me any less native. I am not 100% black. That doesn't make me less black. I am not 100% white. That doesn't make me less white. Makes me a combo of all 3. I am a hybrid human. Or a hybrid human for those who will come at me for my English. But again, this isn't about me. This is about all of us. And native issues need to be on the top of the table. Treaties need to be amended. If you're not going to honor them, then you at least need to give the natives something in return for everything that you continue to steal. You took the country, you put us on rocks of dirt, and we made magic happen. We turned those rocks of dirt into feasible and fruitful land, and yet you want to cut through them for wealth of everything except for natives. That shit needs to stop. Treaties need to be honored, not broken. And it doesn't matter if it's a treaty in South America, North America, or Canada. The goddamn treaties need to stop being broken. Have some fucking honor. For the love of God. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. If I'm getting too emotional, I'm sorry. I have had I did a TikTok with a young lady. I stitched her TikTok because she was mentioning mixed breeded Native Americans. And I explained to her that all my life I have been mistreated by blacks because I'm part Native, by whites because I'm part Native, but by blacks and whites both because I'm also part black and white. I have gone through so much in my 48 years of racism. I am the prince of telling you how racism works. I know how infighting works too. And a lot of infighting on Native TikTok started off when one Native person told another Native person, you're too dark to be Native. And another Native person told the other Native person, you're too light to be Native. Fuck that shit. The infighting stops today. I hope that my TikTok fam watches this, and I hope that they go see it and understand that the infighting has to stop so that we can move forward. So that not only can we stop pipelines, but we can prevent them from ever happening again, so that none of the sex trafficking, none of the kidnapping, none of the missing and murdered indigenous people happen. And a lot of these things generally don't happen until pipelines or something cuts through native land. And sometimes it happens without that. Lots of natives have been missing and murdered and raped and killed in Alaska, and we don't cover that shit. It might make the ID channel. Thank you for that story. I have to say this because it needs to be said. But more importantly, it needs to be done. We're Native. We need to be Native. I'm not saying paint our faces and go on a warpath and dress in a war bonnet. No. We got to beat them at their own game. But to do that, we need to unite. So all natives within the sound of my voice, within the sight of this video, please think about what I said. Stop the infighting. Let's start bringing our missing and murdered indigenous people home. That's top priority. Let's get justice for our slain children in the residential schools. Even if we can't get compensation, let them get justice. Let someone take the fall. Let someone have accountability. And I know it's probably not going to happen. I only have 134 of you here, and I don't know if any of you are indigenous. But if you are, share this, please. This is probably the only video I'm going to ask you to share in my entire life, because it's important. We need to stop the infighting with the First Nations of Canada. We need to stop the infighting with the Native Americans of America. We need to stop the infighting with the indigenous of Mexico, which is technically attached to America. We need to stop the indigenous infighting with the infightings in South America, from Brazil all the way to the south tip of the bottom of South America. We need to get someone from the Amazon nation to come in and talk, because if you take away the Amazon trees, we have nothing to protect us. We have no medicines if you keep cutting those things down and not planting more trees in their place because of your quest for land and trying to move natives out of theirs. Right now in Brazil, there's a whole lot of bullshit going on with them not giving these sovereign nations their just desserts and things, and that shit pisses me off. And there's nothing I can do about it because I'm not from Brazil, so I can't give you the whole story because I don't fucking know it. And Native TikToks only covered it once. So Native TikTok, if you hear that, please cover it again. Get to Brazil. Get someone down there who can cover it and let us know what the hell's going on with the natives in South America. The Aztecs, the Incans, the Mayans, all of them that migrated down to South America from Mexico, they're still indigenous. And if you are a descendant of them, you are still indigenous. Even if you're mixed with Philippine slaves, if you're mixed with black slaves, you're still indigenous. You're like me, but you're still indigenous. And your voices need to be heard. Just like my voice needed to be heard, and it wasn't being heard because I'm not pure blood. And then it was being heard because two people who are multicultural, or at least biracial, heard me and made me feel better about my indigenous side. But understand this, my Cherokee fire never went out because people told me I wasn't pure blood. It just made me have a little bit of self-hate for a minute. But then I got rid of it. I burnt out the self-hate. I'm very proud to be part Cherokee. I am very proud to be part black, and I'm very proud to be part white. What I am not proud of is how all three of my ethnicities are not working together. Period. But first and foremost, my indigenous pride, we need to work together. We need to get rid of the in-pride, the infighting, and stop worrying about who's more indigenous and just be goddamn indigenous. And then unite. Bring our dead home. bring our missing home, get justice for the little kids that didn't make it to have futures, to be grateful and to be thankful and to be here. Thank you. But we need to unite, and we need to do it now so that we can stop. I am not a leader. I am not qualified for what happens next. I hope that I rally enough people together with this video to make someone at least think of what I said. And then a strong warrior will rise, and a strong warrior will lead us. I'm too old. I really just want to make my movies and be happy. I will never be a political person because I don't know how to talk to people without lying. That is not my thing. I give you 99.9 here. No more, no less. Unless I know I need to give you the whole 1,000. I can't give you the whole 1,000 of something that I'm not really capable of giving you because I don't know it all right now. But for now, the most important part is that every native of every nation, from the top of the world to the south bottom pole of Chile in South America, we need to talk. And I mean, I don't give a flying frack about peace pipes and powwows. I mean, we need to sit down and talk and figure this shit out before there's nothing left of us to figure out. Thank you guys for watching. I am Echo Fangray Wolf. This is Kung Fu Havoc #2. Be blessed and be seeing you.